predictability is impossible in the market. You know, we can get a good gut feeling, we can get a good educated guess, but at the end of the day, like I was confident that we were going to hit all-time high this morning, and we haven't. We haven't trailed up. You know, we haven't managed our way up into it. So when it comes to your read, how do you define where you go based on? Is it your read on the grand scheme, or do you take a shorter term read and say, I'm waiting for this to happen, and then that's when I'm going to get in the market?
It would have to do a sentiment on price action. Like, for
Mm-hmm.
example, here you have your RSI above 85 at an
Mm-hmm.
all-time high, but here you can't break 60. Doesn't mean the
Right.
move that it's exhausted yet, but the fact that it hasn't broke 60 yet doesn't mean that it's done yet. So
Right.
the price still has a chance to maybe come up back and get a pullback and move, or we could see a bigger move down, which is the RSI is telling us that it's losing momentum. You have
Mm-hmm.
to kind of watch the price action as you're watching the development, because the price action, if the RSI and the price action aren't matching, we're not syncing up. So a lot of the
Mm-hmm.
times things have to match in order as far as volume. Like the other day where we just had a low volume day, it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
make sense for all-time highs to be getting hit with low volume, but it doesn't really make sense if it makes sense. You have to kind of go with the volume and where it's going. And it's just like today, a lot of people chose to open in price range due to the volume, but now volume is switching. People are confused on where they're going when it could just be a simple pullback to a lower demand that was left in a previous session. So
Sure.
it has to do with your control and especially futures. A lot of people
Mm-hmm.
forget that the Asian and London sessions are very important sessions too. Just because they
Yeah.
don't have volume doesn't mean that they're respectful. So a lot of people
Right.
will just tend to just play the New York market and forget that, hey, there's two other markets that did move the way they did. So if they hold
Mm-hmm.
up, you wouldn't want to be thinking you're the only market that matters. So
Right.
futures is a beast in itself, because when the tariffs hit, New York was the down one, and London
Mm-hmm.
and Asian was the one that brought it back.
Mm-hmm.
So you had, like you said, when we have to evolve, you have to evolve, because during the Biden administration, it didn't move like that. So it's
Right.
just, as a trader, you have to learn, as the markets are moving and they're doing something different than what we're used to, stand back, get the concept of what they're doing, and try to perform to that level versus trying to, like you said, make the market do what you want it to do.
That brings up a really interesting point that sort of mirrors my history. When I first started trading, all I wanted was indicators. I wanted indicators to tell me what to do, when to do it, and I didn't care about why. And not that those strategies don't work, but I personally never took that extra step to really learn why that information was meaningful. And lo and behold, it wasn't successful for me. I mean, looking back, I'm not shocked by that.